It is 2022. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is right around the corner, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, to answer that in the shortest way possible, it is fucking it is like chef's kiss. It is so good. Um, so I am totally off my meds today, and this is a 100% unscripted video. It's going to be a little chaotic, um, but I just wanted to talk about my experience with it and the problems I did see with it because there are a few. There are quite a few problems that this game does have. Um, but yeah, was it good? Absolutely. Like I have no idea what I'm going to be playing like up until when it's going to launch. It's going to be the longest month of my life, and it's going to suck. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about and bring a little mention to is all the bad stuff. Like I'm talking like visual stuff, performance-wise, and what's going on each of the platforms. Um, so as far as visual stuff, I'm gonna be just taking a second to talk about the little things that I noticed that were kind of dumb. One of them I didn't have any footage of because on the last day of the beta, when I went on to try and capture footage of it, it seemed to be fixed, so I was not aware if they were actively patching this game or this beta as it was going on. But for this, there was this one bug in particular where your character would be like standing there, like in the main menu with all of like your dudes while you're like searching for the game, like the little queue thing. You'd see your guy like holding the gun, and his hands would be like clipping through the weapon system, and it was just like really weird. It's something I would not want to see out of a AAA game. Just like a little thing here, obviously. Oh, it's not a big deal. But that was something that I did notice. Then there was some visual bugs that I did catch on the Swiss operator. I think it was a Swiss operator. The dude, I think his name was like Koenig or something, where he has like this cloth mask thing, and when you are like running around killing dudes, you could see it flapping around all insane. And it's not like a big issue or anything. You would obviously never even notice what in the third person mode. It was something you'd only really see in third person mode. And again, not even like game breaking or anything, just something that was kind of distracting that I noticed, and I was like, oh, come on, like that sucks. But again, nothing like too huge or anything like that. Um, but that was pretty much the visuals. Oh, there was also a bug where like if you're tac sprinting in the third person mode, or if you watch someone tac sprint, you could see them with their weapon up and they're running, and their sling is kind of like floating. It's not attached to anything. Just weird shit here and there. Nothing too crazy on the visual bugs, but definitely stuff that I did notice. But as far as performance goes, I was playing on a pretty good rig. I have a Ryzen 5, I think 3600 and 3060. And I've been running the game medium to high end settings with capped at 100 frame rates with very little issue. But there would be some times where the frame rate would drop to like 2 frames a second for like half a second, which doesn't sound too bad. But when this did occur, it would happen often. So it didn't happen all the time, but when I would get into a match when it was happening, it would be like the entire match. And it's frustrating to play have a very choppy gameplay experience in a very twitchy first-person shooter. And I either had to just tough it out and suck it up and just finish the match, or completely quit out the game and restart it. There was no fix I could do in-game. I just had to either quit or suck it up. And that's something no one wants to go through in a game that they spend a lot of money on, because it just fucking sucks. But that didn't happen every match. It happened a couple times. It was annoying because it's like you got all your homies and you're squatted up, and then you're having a terrible time because your game's running like shit. And it's like you either gotta suck it up and be like, oh hey guys, just finish this one without me. And no one wants to do that. That's lame. But that was my experience as far as PC performance. I did read online of a lot of people saying they got a lot of dev errors and like the fatal crashes and shit. I only got three. I only got three times where the game just straight up stopped responding and it sent me to the home screen. So that was an issue a lot of people had. And there was an issue that my friend had. He was on an Xbox Series S, and he had the worst time. His gameplay was shitty. He's saying that he had like the worst frame rate imaginable. It felt worse than like Halo Infinite on launch for 360 or for the Xbox One, and I was just like, damn, that shit sucked. And he just had the worst time. He was like, it's terrible. The frame rate's awful. I can it's impeding my ability to play the game, and it only fixed itself when because he got mad. He's like, I can't play this. Uninstalled it, and then like an hour and a half later, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna reinstall it, see if anything is different. And then the reinstallation kind of fixed it a little bit. It self-regulated a little bit, and that's not something you should have to do. I'm not gonna say, oh well, it's fixed now, because having to uninstall something and reinstalling it just for it to fucking work isn't something you should have to do. All right, that's kind of baloney, and these are the issues that I did see. I'm not going to complain this entire time, I promise. But these are issues that I did see that should be talked about and should be addressed. I'm not going to be that asshole who's like, oh guys, it's a beta, calm down. They're going to fix everything before launch, because that's just an idiotic opinion to have. This is a AAA developer. They should be working on these issues and making sure they put out the best experience possible for the player base. But I am just hoping that these are things that they are aware of and actively trying to fix. And that was pretty much it for the bad. So now I'm going to be talking about the good and everything that I did actually like. Alright, so now the good. And I'm just going to be flat out and say it, dude. There isn't a whole lot that I didn't like. Alright, this game is incredible. And it's not even out yet. This is just beta. And I had the best time with it. It was an incredible experience. There was a map I wasn't a big fan of because I just didn't like how open it was, and that's the museum. I did like the aesthetic of it. It looks really cool. So I'm just hoping they add a lot of maps on launch, and I believe there was like I want to say there was like 4 maps you could play on for like quick play, as well as the ones for like ground war and an invasion, which are also 2 game modes which are really fun. I really liked Invasion a lot. It was a lot of fun. I even got like a Juggernaut on it, and I was just like, holy smokes. I was just like wasting kids. It was so fun. But my favorite game mode that they added that I think was new, I didn't play the other Call of Duties that came out recently. I did play Modern Warfare 1, the remake, but I did like the hostage rescue one. That one was really, really fucking good. I like that one a lot. But yeah, they did change a lot of stuff. And I'm all for it, man. Like, for example, you can get 4 perks now for each class. I had a friend who wasn't a big fan of that, but I thought it was cool. You get a whole ass extra perk. So now you can be completely kitted out. The only thing is, you get the first 2 perks on spawn whenever the match starts, and then you have to get like score to then unlock the other 2, and then now you got 2 perks. But I wasn't doing a whole lot of testing on it because I was too busy just shooting dudes. Because to my thought on it was, I thought it was like if you switch loadouts, then you have to re-unlock those perks. So I'm not even sure if that's how it works. If it is, then I do kind of like that because it could incentivize you to use the same loadout for the entire match, because you wouldn't want to switch out loadouts and then be at a disadvantage because you don't have your 2 bonus perks. But again, I don't even know if that's how it works, so don't even quote me on that. I could be 100% wrong. But no, I absolutely loved it. The gameplay was great. The gunplay was awesome. Just the animations of the characters, watching the dudes like shooting, like the movement looked really cool. It felt super chunky. They brought dolphin diving back. It was really, really good time. I was just drop shotting the hell out of people. And yeah, there was just a lot of good times had on this beta, and I liked it a lot. There was a shit ton of game modes for a beta. I was expecting like 2 or 3 game modes. There was more game modes in this beta than there are in like Halo Infinite, which is like a fully released game. So I was just like completely blown away. Like I was hopeful, I was cautiously optimistic about the release of this game. and now I am just so fucking excited for it. It is unreal. It is going to be so much fun. There was one thing that they changed that I thought was really cool with the gunsmith. It's kind of confusing at first, but how it works now is you will have like take the M4 for example. You will have to unlock a receiver. Like say you have an M4, right? You have to unlock receivers to unlock other platforms, right? So like there's the M4, M16, and the AR-57, right? They all use the same platform, so you have to swap out the receivers to then level up those specific guns. So like you swap out the M4 receiver for an LFG receiver, and then you can level that up and get the M16. Really cool idea. I like that a lot because it makes sense. All these guns are based off the same platform anyway. So I think that was really cool. Kind of confusing at first, but once I figured it out, I was like, oh damn, that's sick. Um, and yeah, they also did make a change to, uh, how kill streaks are, because it's like in Cold War it was score streaks, and there's people who are like that sucks, right? But now you can choose. You could use guns, kill streaks, or score streaks. I'm more of a kill streak person, even though I'm not dropping like crazy kills. Like kind of trash at Call of Duty. You know, if the gameplay isn't already telling you that. So I do prefer kill streaks, but it's cool that the game is like, hey, you do you. You can choose, what you want to use. And I thought that was really fucking cool. Um, but yeah, that is everything I liked, and there wasn't a whole lot that I didn't like to this game. So that was the good. Now, what is the verdict? Plain and simple. Fucking buy it, man. It is gonna be so good. If this beta says anything about what the final product is gonna be, it's gonna be fucking incredible. I've had the best time playing it. And on the last day of the beta, when I hit up my friend, like, hey, you gonna be on MW2 tonight? It was such a throwback, and it was so cool. And we just had the best time playing it. So, like, if you did play the beta, I hope you had a great time, because I did. I had the best time. There isn't a whole lot that I don't like about this game. I really think it's gonna be it's gonna be something special. Um, I'm excited for everything that's gonna be in it, and yeah, man, it comes out November 10th, I believe. So if for whatever reason you can't justify spending like the full price, all the money on a full price game, I get it. It's gonna be $69.99, LOL, and it's a pricey game. So if you can't justify that much on it, I totally get it. I don't have a whole lot of fucking dosh to spend on shit at the moment, but you could totally, I would imagine there's going to be some sort of sale, some sort of holiday or Black Friday sale, and if you could cop it for like 30 or like 50% off or something, some crazy shit like that for some sort of like Black Friday or holiday sale, I would say totally do it. At the least, try and cop it on a sale, or get it like a physical copy used or something, because 100% it is so worth it. I actually pre-ordered the game, and I don't even like to pre-order shit, because it's not like they're gonna be like, oh, sorry bro, we ran out of digital copies. There's no point for me to pre-order something digitally because I'm on PC, but I did anyway, because I was like, I'm gonna pre-download this, I'm gonna play it day one. So just, yeah man, I totally would recommend buying this game, 100%. And right now, I am just totally fucking rambling about how much I am in love with this shit. So I'm gonna have to cut it here before I keep going on about it. But with all that being said, 100% I would recommend it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.